told Goodell he was sorry and that it wouldn't happen again. Our second source said there was no ambiguity about what happened. Two other sources confirmed how the information was relayed at the meeting. But a fifth source with knowledge of the meeting said Rice told Goodell he, quote, slapped his then fiance. A spokesperson for the NFL declined to comment. Our next guest spent 13 years in the NFL as a kicker. Still a free agent, correct?
Still a free agent.
Yeah, don't make it past
due. No retired mug for me.
Yeah, you're not retiring. You're still available for anyone who's interested. You are on the NFL Executive Committee, Players Association Executive Committee, and you have had a relationship with Goodell, just by way of background for our viewers. Had issues with him, have discussed it at some point, and so I want to talk about his future. Pending everything that's happened, everything that went down, what do you think his future is in terms of being the commissioner?
Well, Carrie, there's no question that Roger botched this entire episode from the beginning all the way up until now. But like Stephen A. said yesterday, unless he saw the video and lied about it, I don't believe he's done something egregious. You know, if you go back and you look, I sat across from him at the negotiation table in the CBA negotiations. I was one of his biggest critics of the Saints bounty scandal on this show. And Skip, you and I talked about it many times, and I thought that it was very mishandled by the commissioner, even going beyond mishandled. I thought that what he did to some of the players like Scott Fajita and Jonathan Vilma was disgraceful. I could very easily come on here and just bash him and jump on top of him and take this opportunity to say that he's a bad commissioner, that I don't trust him, that he should be kicked out of the NFL, that they need to get somebody else. And we've had our battles. When I was with the Jets and he came in and met with the teams during the lockout, he and I went back and forth. And he even said to me, you know, we can step outside if you want.
And what did you say?
And I said, no, we're going to do it right here in front of all the players.
And then what did he say?
And then we did. Well, we went back and forth.
But not physically.
No, not physically.
Okay, because that's what
verbally,
I'm thinking.
jousting verbally, yes. And going back and forth.
Roger meant
and
physically.
holding him accountable for what he was saying. But in this instance, I don't believe that he's done something that would cost him his job, nor do I think that you should even consider that. And really, there's three areas of concern for him when it comes to credibility. It's the fans, the players, and the owners. And let's take the easiest one, the owners. If you look at the owners, for him, he has given them a CBA that's 10 years long. That gives them cost certainty. Yeah. That allows them to create leverage in the negotiations with TV contracts. They have record profits. And I'll give you one number, $1.4 billion. That's what one of the least valued franchises, the Buffalo Bills, just reportedly was sold for. When you look at those things, the owners are going to be happy with him. They're going to trust him, and they want to keep him. If you look at it from a player standpoint, really the bounty scandal kind of undermined any chance he had to have trust with the players. Then you look at the negotiation of the CBA. Players inherently aren't going to trust him anyways because they view him on the other side. And I really don't think that that matters. Whether the players trust him or not, I don't think that that matters for the game. They're going to go out there. You're going to play as hard as you can. And your loyalty is to your team and your teammates. Now, when it comes to the fans, that's the one that really matters. And the fans have to trust that Roger Goodell puts the game first, that the trust of the game is entrusted to him, and he has to not put finances first, not hide things. They have to believe that the decisions he makes, especially when they're decisions that they don't like when it comes to changing the rules. Yeah. And from a defensive standpoint, a lot of fans don't like that. They have to trust that he's making decisions for the best interest of the game, not the best interest of the owners. That's where he has a credibility problem right now, but I don't think that that problem is insurmountable.
All right, Stephen A.
I completely agree with Jay. It's good to see you, Jay. Thanks for coming on the show, by the way.
Too.
But let me be very, very clear. I've steadfastly maintained that Roger Goodell's job should not be in jeopardy unless we know or learn that Roger Goodell saw that video and decided to sweep it under the rug and still give Ray Rice 2 games. 2-game suspension. And I'd like to add reiterate what I said yesterday. Guys, if Roger Goodell had seen the video in light of that possibility, would he not have said, here's the video, I didn't like it, I'm going to suspend him indefinitely, at the time that he had implemented the new domestic violence policy calling for a 6-game suspension for a first-time offender and then a lifetime ban for a second-time offender? Remember, during that same statement when he came in with the letter to the owners, he said, I was wrong. I dropped the ball. So that would have been the perfect time to basically retroactively suspend Ray Rice indefinitely, and he didn't do it at that time. So to me, that sends a message that he may not have seen the video. If we find that he saw the video, he should be fired, to be quite honest with you. But absent of that, I think all of this talk about him potentially losing his job is utterly ridiculous. I stand corrected on the whole Bounty Gate situation, Jay. I was against Skip. I was against you on that. My attitude was, if you've got Greg Williams dead to rights and you got Sean Payton dead to rights for lying to your face and you suspended him for the year, then I thought that it was all lumped into a bowl as it pertained to the players. Once Paul Tagliabue came in, did his investigation, and essentially exonerated Fajita and Jonathan Vilma, in my eyes, I came on the air and apologized. I was wrong when it came to that. I was wrong when it came to your position on it. I was wrong when it came to Skip's position on it. Because I'm here thinking that the NFL security department is elite. It's a multi-billion-dollar establishment. And if they got the coach and the defensive coordinator dead to rights, then the likelihood is what they got on the players is legit. And clearly that didn't appear to be the case. So for me, we all recognize that Roger Goodell has his fallibilities. He has his flaws. We know that he's not perfect. He definitely dropped the ball here. He made mistakes. There is no question about that. But is it a fireable offense? Not only do I think that answer is an emphatic no, I think it's ridiculous for folks to even question it.
So, Stephen A., you now have an ally at the desk in Jay, and I must admit to you, I'm surprised by Jay's position. I'm surprised at how strongly he's defending the commissioner in the wake of Bounty Gate and now a situation that you said up front he has botched. I think it's beyond botched to me. And I know you might ultimately have a future in politics. The old political saying is the cover-up can be even worse than the crime. Well, that could be going on here because neither of you...
I'd vote for Jay.
Okay.
I'd vote for Jay.
So would I. But
I'd vote for you too, Stephen A.
No, you wouldn't.
No, you
Please,
wouldn't.
don't encourage him.
He's a politician. So you already said it. He's a
He's a
politician.
politician. Okay. Now, I don't want to retry this crime in the court of public opinion because we've been doing it for about 3 days here.
Yeah.
But the point is, neither of you brought up the Associated Press story in which it seemed pretty well nailed down by a highly respected news agency that the tape got to the National Football League offices, that a female voice on a voicemail says, yes, we received it, and it's terrible. Okay? So my point to him has been all week that you can either drop the ball or refuse to pick the ball up because you just don't even care about what's on that tape. You've already made your choice. You don't really get involved in domestic violence disputes or abuse or what. It's our policy. We just kind of stay away. We sweep those under the carpet. Well, that's just as bad as watching the video and still saying it's 2 games. That's just me. So in the bigger picture here, we have a man who then went to the lengths to, as I said yesterday, he threw Ray Rice under the bus. And according to 4 out of the 5 sources, that was a lie on the commissioner's part. He wasn't ambiguous. I hate to use that word lie. He was less than truthful. But what I'm shocked about, Jay, is that this man, for whom we all have respect, he's done a terrific job in the big picture with the prosperity unprecedented in this league. But I'm shocked this man keeps digging and digging a deeper hole for himself on this issue. And this is a flashpoint issue. And I'm going to read a quick portion of the letter he sent to Ray Rice when he suspended him for the 2 games. He said, this league is an entity that relies on integrity and the confidence of the public. The confidence of the public. That's what he told Ray Rice.
That's what I talked about.
Okay. So how much confidence do the public now have in the commissioner? Well, let's turn those tables. Am I right?
Yeah, no,
you are right. And the public has to have confidence and trust in him that the integrity of the game matters to him. But the guy that I know, the guy that I sat across from many times at that negotiating table, is a very smart man. He's very cunning,
I get
smart. He looks forward 3 steps, like when you're playing chess. I can't see a guy like that knowing the video exists and either not wanting to see it or not acknowledging it or lying about it. He's not that dumb. He wouldn't do that. There's no way that he would understand.
Or is it that smart?
No. He would never know that tape exists and push it aside or not view it. Because he knows at some point somebody gave that tape to the office and they're going to come out and they're going to talk about it. The guy that I know, he's a good person. He has a good heart. He truly does care about the players, even though I've disagreed with him many times and fought against him many times. I think he's a very good person who cares about the game and cares about players and their welfare. And I don't believe that he would have seen that video or known about that video and not, like Stephen A. said, taken more stiff actions, because he had the perfect opportunity to go out there and do it when he revised the policy.
Okay, but
Exactly.
we know that good people sometimes make really bad decisions.
He did make a bad decision when he only suspended him for 2 games. And when they didn't pursue that video, when they didn't go to whatever lengths they could go to acquire that video and know what was on it.
So, Stephen A., it's a bad decision, not purposeful. What did you want to add?
The whole point is that Skip is talking about reports, and he's talking about what people said. You know, it's almost tantamount to people asking, and this is in a totally different level, but stay with me on this, guys. When the whole Donald Sterling thing went down, people were saying, well, why did the NBA not do more about some of the accusations levied against Donald Sterling? Well, when you're already in the house, then it's entirely different than somebody trying to get into the house. Or when you're already in the fraternity, rather, fraternity would be a better word than house. You're already in. Roger Goodell is the commissioner of the NFL. Somebody saying, well, there was no ambiguity. He was told and he knew. Well, Roger Goodell said he did it. So that makes it your word against his. And if that's all you've got, that's not enough to get rid of a commissioner. Now, if he was trying to become the commissioner and the issue of integrity and public trust was a criteria, and he's not the commissioner yet and he's trying to get voted in, Jay, wouldn't he have a problem? I'm sure he would.
Wait, time out, Steve.
But he's already in.
Time out. Skip, can you respond to that? Your word against his? That's not enough to get rid of Roger Goodell.
We have a whole bunch of words against the commissioner. And of course, we got the Mueller investigation now. I'm really going to take that to the bank. But
well, I'll make one final point. There's 32 owners that have to get rid of him. The public don't get rid of him. The players don't get rid of him. And those 32 owners are very happy with the job he's done.
Here's the point. To the bottom line, it's all about the finances. If some of the major sponsors get cold feet and pull out, that could turn up the heat on the commissioner's seat. And USA Today has a good story about projecting what could happen with the major sponsors.
Little nugget of information on my radio show yesterday, Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio. That's right, I'm giving it a plug. Adam Schefter came on the show. And Adam Schefter said, quote, you have owners on the record that are saying, a couple of them have said they've used the word witch hunt for folks coming at Roger Goodell. He said, however, there are other owners that, for one reason or another, don't appear to be all that pleased with Roger Goodell and have raised the eyebrow. So the only caveat I would say, or modification, Jay, that I would say is that when you say the 32 owners love him, I got the impression they're not all 32. There are some. So who knows? I guess we could keep our eyes open and keep a watch on this. But by and large, Roger Goodell has the support of the owners. We see where it goes from there.
You want to add something to that? Politician.